Our next expert is Dr. Abhinav Gautam, a physician, inventor, and an entrepreneur who is the founder of Intuitive Interventions and Relief Therapy. This is a breakthrough, non-invasive, steroid and opioid-free treatment that works with your body to restore its ability to heal while reducing discomfort. Dr. Abhi, it is such a pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
So this is an incredibly interesting approach to treating patients and restoring their ability to heal with relief therapy. Can you tell us exactly how it works?
Yeah, sure. Would love to. So essentially, RELIEF is an acronym that stands for real-time echolocated and then breaks up the nerves. So epineural fibrinolysis. So obviously it's a mouthful, so we'll stick with RELIEF. And essentially what it is it's a method I created where we use ultrasound and we can visualize the affected portion of a patient's body and identify what the root cause of their suffering is. And by that, I usually, well, for this, we're really talking about musculoskeletal related problems. So that could be pain or range of motion stiffness type of thing. So we identify the problem, and then using very small needles and a recipe that we've kind of created that's fundamentally based on these placental proteins that are derived from the inner lining of the placenta, which is called the amniotic membrane. So in a nutshell, we're creating fetal microenvironments in localized areas of the body that are have been compromised, let's say, and we try to, I've been an athlete my whole life, so I'll use this analogy. A great coach puts an athlete in a position to succeed, and obviously, at least in my humble opinion, there is no better healer than the human body. So we try to reset the body and put the tissue back in its right place and give it the right instructions in order for it to do its thing.
How did you come about creating this healing process, and how effective have you seen it been?
Okay, so great question. So necessity is the mother of all invention. So while I was actually selling one of my last companies, I started really training heavily, playing a lot of tennis again, and realized that, over the last 10 years of doctoring, my body had broken down a lot more than I thought it had, So kind of fast forward a little bit, I got my hands on kind of one of these new cutting edge ultrasound scanners that, before they used to be like the size of a fridge. Now they come basically a little bit bigger than a cell phone. And I kind of used my insomnia to my advantage and started scanning myself at night, when I couldn't sleep. And really, it was like a journey inwards of starting to reconcile, okay, my right shoulder feels much tighter than my left shoulder. What does this look like? And I started to see patterns that hadn't really been discussed in the textbooks. And the patterns specifically were primarily focused in the connective tissue or the fascia, as a lot of people like to call it, right? So what we're doing at Vitruvia with RELIEF is we're kind of looking in between the lines, so we're not saying, hey, the MRI is negative, so you're crazy. We're saying, hey, okay, the MRI is negative, but let's take the ultrasound, which is, much more accurate at shallow depths, and see if we can match up what the person's suffering is with the tissue pattern. And if we're able to do that, then the probability of us being able to help the individual is extremely high. I mean, 90% or higher. That doesn't mean that they're going to get all the way better in one treatment. That just means that what their problem is something we can address. It then just is a matter of how many times it takes for us, how many sessions does it take for us to help them? Hopefully it's one, but sometimes it can be more than that.
So how can our audience find out more about you and the incredible work you're doing?
For more information, just feel free to go to the website, www.vitruvia.co, and you can find out, more about the procedure and hear all kinds of patients' testimonials for whichever body part or area that may be afflicting you.
Great to have you, doctor.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
We'll be right back.